Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. As always, want to thank everybody for your support over on Patreon. Couldn't do it without you guys.
No, we absolutely could not.
And we invite everybody to come join us over there. Exclusives going up every week, usually multiple times a week. So just wanted to share this little news item. Genetic testing firm 23andMe files for bankruptcy. Again, 23 is referring to the chromosomes in the human genome. Why is this a big deal? Well, there's a lot of people that are very, very concerned. They filed for bankruptcy. Apparently, somebody may end up buying them out. And if you have your genome on their database, a lot of people are concerned with who's going to buy them out. So you see here, California Attorney General Rob Bonta today issued a consumer alert to customers of 23andMe. A genetic testing and information company, California-based company, has publicly reported that it's in financial distress and stated in securities filings that there's substantial doubt about its ability to continue as a going concern. Due to the trove of sensitive consumer data 23andMe has amassed, Attorney General Bonta reminds Californians of their right to delete their genetic data under the Genetic Information Privacy Act and California Consumer Protection Act. Californians who do not or who want to invoke these rights can do so by going to 23andMe's website. And this is giving you more data directly on this is what it looks like at the website to go ahead and delete your data. Now, maybe in the suspicious type, I would wonder if it's really deleted, or is it backed up somewhere? And can it really ever be deleted? Is my question.
Yeah, no, this information is not good at all. So when I take a peek in and I look at the other things surrounding this decision, like it's like the why behind it all. The information that we're talking about is going into like this black hole. They tell me that the information just fades into a black hole, and I took that to be a black ops project. But the other thing that I thought was very curious is CERN is going to be tied into this. CERN is tied into this. That kind of took me back. I thought, oh my gosh, what are they going to do with CERN having this information, and how is that going to affect us, like in our future and our past? Because DNA goes both ways. I feel like there's some time thing involved here too, in our family lineage, and just having them have so much information on us, and then being able to do things to us in the quantum field, it's not good.
And of course, everything is just for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only.
Only entertainment purposes.
Yeah, interesting point. So when we look at 23andMe, it's an American personal genomics and biotech company based in South San Francisco, California, best known for providing a direct-to-consumer genetic testing service in which customers provide a saliva sample that's laboratory analyzed using single nucleotide polymorphism genotyping to generate reports relating to the customer's ancestry and genetic predispositions to health-related topics. Its name is derived from 23 pairs of chromosomes in a diploid human cell. Founded in 2006, 23andMe soon became the first company to begin offering autosomal DNA testing for ancestry, which all other major companies now use. Its saliva-based direct-to-consumer genetic testing business was named the Invention of the Year by Time back in 2008. The company has had a previous fraught relationship with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration due to its genetic health tests, and as of October 2015, DNA tests ordered in the U.S. includes the revised health component per FDA approval. 23andMe has been selling a product with both ancestry and health-related components in Canada since 2014 and the UK since 2014. It became a publicly traded company via a merger with Special Purpose Acquisition Company, SPAC, Special Purchase Acquisition Company, in 2021, and soon had a market capitalization of $6 billion. By 2024, its valuation had fallen to 2% of that peak. In March 2025, 23andMe filed for bankruptcy. So here you go. Linda Avey, Paul Kusenza, and Anne Wojcicki. Founded 23andMe in 2006 to offer genetic testing and interpretation to individuals. Investment documents from 2007 also suggest that 23andMe hoped to develop a database to pursue research efforts. In 2007, Google invested $3.9 million in the company, along with Genentech, New Enterprise Associates, and more Davidow Ventures. Wojcicki and Google co-founder Sergey Brin were married at the time. In 2007, Kusenza left to join Nodal Exchange as CEO. Avey left in 2009 and co-founded Curious Inc. in 2011. In 2012, 23andMe raised $50 million in Series D venture round, almost doubling its capital of $52.6 million. In 2015, it raised $115 million in Series E offering, increasing capital to $241 million. In 2017, September, it was rumored the company was raising another $200 million with a $1.5 billion valuation. As of that time, the company raised $230 million since its inception. Afterwards, it was reported the company raised $250 million at a $1.75 billion valuation. On July 25, 2018, 23andMe announced a partnership with GlaxoSmithKline to allow the pharmaceutical company to use test results from over 5 million customers to design new drugs. GlaxoSmithKline invested $300 million in the company. In January 2022, this partnership was extended until July 2023 with an additional $50 million payment from GlaxoSmithKline. Company was based in Mountain View, California initially, in North Bayshore, and then downtown until 2019 when it moved to a larger headquarters in Sunnyvale. In January 2020, 23andMe announced it would lay off 100 employees in its consumer testing division. In July 2020, 23andMe and GlaxoSmithKline announced their partnership's first clinical trial, a joint asset being co-developed by the two companies for cancer treatment. In December 2020, the company raised about $82.5 million in a Series F round, bringing the total raised over the years to $850 million. The post-money valuation was not reported. Then in February 2021, the company announced it entered into a definitive agreement to merge with Sir Richard Branson's Special Purpose Acquisition Company, VG Acquisition Corp., in a $3.5 billion transaction. In June 2021, the company completed the merger with VG Acquisition Corp. The combined company was renamed to 23andMe Holding Corp. And began trading on NASDAQ's stock exchange June 17, 2021. Under the ticker symbol ME. October 2021, 23andMe announced it would acquire Lemonade Health, a telehealth company, for $400 million, with the deal closing in November. After 23andMe became a publicly traded company in 2021, it reached capitalization of $6 billion. By 2024, its valuation had fallen to 2% of that peak. Suggested factors include the fact the company had never been profitable, with lack of recurring revenue from 23andMe's retail customers of its DNA kits who only need to take the test once. In July 2024, Wojcicki announced her intention to take 23andMe private by paying 40 cents each for all the outstanding shares not already owned by her directly or through affiliates. The proposal was rejected by a committee set up to evaluate options for the company's future, and in September, the 7 independent members of the board of directors all resigned. The company subsequently filed with the SEC, indicating it was no longer open to third-party acquisition offers. Users were concerned about the security of their genetic data and were trying to delete it from the company's archives, only to find out that it holds on to data for 3 years before deleting it to comply with legal obligations. In July 2025, 23andMe declared it would need additional liquidity to fund operations and was actively exploring strategic alternatives, including potential sale of the company. On March 23, 2025, 23andMe filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in Delaware. As part of a plan to sell its assets, the company listed assets and liabilities between $100 million and $500 million. And Wojcicki announced she would be stepping down from her role as CEO and would be replaced with CFO Joe Sells Savage. So, looking at Special Purpose Acquisition Corp., it's also known as a blank check company. It's a shell corporation listed on a stock exchange with the purpose of acquiring or merging with a private company, thus making private company public without going through the initial public offering, the IPO process, which often carries significant procedural and regulatory burdens. According to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SPACs are created specifically to pool funds to finance a future merger or acquisition opportunity within a set time frame. And these opportunities usually have yet to be identified while raising funds. It just again shows you that you have to be part of the club to ever have any sort of impact or be in the mix. And we understand how those clubs run. Again, it's not a CONS piracy theory. It's just simple fact. So it's interesting to see that these two sisters, Anne and Susan. I didn't mention Susan yet. So, this is, again, Anne, and she certainly does look like her sister, who happened to be YouTube's former chief. Absolutely. She died at 56, very, very young. Where there's been a lot of people dying young nowadays. We all recognize that and know that. Susan, her sister, was the former boss of YouTube and one of Google's earliest employees. Oh, and remember, Sergey Brin and Google. Again, when you look at these things, you have to really question the natural story that's always given to us. When you look at, again, just look at some of the numbers, and we're talking 100, 150 million. How does that end up turning into 3.5 billion, or 6 billion in valuation? Again, just look at Nancy Pelosi's salary and look at her net worth. Look at it's the same thing with, we see this in politics, and this is all a club, and, none of us are invited in, or you might be invited in. Some of us actually have been invited in, but we wouldn't dare join the club because it's a dark, cursed club, and it's not of the type of energy that many and most of you listening would ever want to be associated with. Again, Google, parent company Alphabet. When you look at this, who does all this end up tying into? And why did why did Susan, Anne's sister, die at 56? Well, things happen, right? We all make difficult decisions in life, and sometimes we do things that lead to, they lead to a loss of health and well-being and vibrancy, and being around certain energies in and of itself can do that. But this was Cancer again, the big C. But Cancer is such a it's everywhere, what are the stats showing now? Is it 1 out of every 2? Is it even more than that it's going to claim? And Susan's son, remember, was found dead inside his UC Berkeley dorm. This was from 18th of February 2024. 18th of February 2024, Susan's son dies, and then 10th of August, Susan dies. It's very, very curious, to say the least. And then what Cindy was picking up on through her use of her gifts, her psychic gifts, picking up again some sort of implication with, obviously black OPSs, and even that Large Hadron Collider. Very, very curious, to say the least.
Yeah, there was quite a few energetic waves coming in on this one that I was reading for entertainment purposes only. These are things that, I would, if it were me, I would go and make sure that my information couldn't be bought or sold. And how does that affect anything? Does it really work? I don't know, but I would try. I would try. I wouldn't want my data out there. Not just my data, because it runs into our families too. So this whole thing was set up for a purpose of what we're coming to now and what we're about to find out now.
Yeah, this is part of something much, much bigger. Again, the system is unraveling as we speak, and there is a new age. We've left that dark age, so all is going to be revealed in the light of the sun, and only those dark entities like vampires and demonic entities, which are very, very real in more than one sense, don't like the sun. As for most of us, we believe in daily sun exposure. It does boost your vitamin D. It boosts your immune system. It boosts the endorphins. And, again, friendship can do that too. And look at this puppy sharing the love with everybody. This is really how we could get along outside of the system. We could get along just fine. Again, its days are numbered, and for that, we are very, very happy.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.